terrific day to you, grade 7 learners! Together, we will explore, discover, and find answer to the mysteries in the world of science. I am your grade 7 super science teacher, Joanna. Are you ready, grade 7? Make sure you prepare your pen, paper, and self-learning module. On our previous lesson, we learned about the rotation of the Earth causes day and night, and its revolution around the Sun leads to the existence of the different seasons. So what are those seasons? Very good. Those are spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Before we proceed on our topic, are you familiar with 4 picks 1 word? Yes, you have to guess a word based on the given pictures. Are you ready? Let's get started! Picture number 1. What do you think is the answer? Very good! The answer is shadow. How about in number 2? Correct! The answer is solar. And the last picture, very good. The answer is moon. So what do you think is the relation of those pictures in our lesson for today? Do you have any idea? That's right! Our lesson for today is all about the eclipse. As we go through to our topic, you will notice these unfamiliar words.
Orbit is a regular repeating path that one object in space takes around another one. Revolution, the time taken by a celestial body to make a complete round in its orbit. Opaque, not able to seen through. Luminous, producing or reflecting light especially in the dark. Non-luminous, not capable of producing light.
At the end of this lesson, you will be able to define the eclipse, identify and differentiate the types of eclipse, and cite examples of beliefs and practices of the community with relation to the eclipse. Have you heard the story of the Bakunawa and the 7 moon? Great! It is a Philippine mythology. So let's find out what's behind that story. Let's go!
Around centuries ago, the spirit underworld exists with creatures and a huge serpent, the Bakunawa of the seas. From his dark retreat among the caverns, he saw the 7 moons at night. That Bakunawa deliciously gazed with wonder and admiration. He jumped out, flew, and swallowed one of the moons. He yearned to have them, if he could only swallow them. Thus, he would be the eternal possessor of them. The glowing moon moved inside his body, but melted. He could not be satisfied as he tried to get the other 4 moons that also melted away. Through the night, the Datu and his tattooed men have been sailing to perform a sea raid. Waiting for such engagement, a monstrous enemy encounters them. Datu enforced the attack to the huge Bakunawa, ripping the Krakoa ship's mast. Datu Karuga, being closest to the serpent, distracts its attention to him. Yet, his prowess had no match to the deity's power. The Datu has been splashed away. The Bakunawa flew and swallowed the 6th moon and came down to the earth again in burning speed. Fortunately, the Datu has been rescued by his fishermen. Next day, the commotion emerges in the seashore as people knew the Datu's tragedy. He warns his people about this ferocious monster. Suddenly, a strange weather appears to be a threat of an upcoming phenomenon. Due to what the Datu remembered to his encounter, ordered his people to be quiet. The Bakunawa emerged in the sky to devour the last moon. The throwing of spears in the skies, the sound of danger from the gongs and drums, the noisy pounding on motors and house floors was the only hope to stop Bakunawa swallowing the moon. As the sound of people distracts Bakunawa, the moon was saved by Laon's punishment from the sky. Bakunawa returns to his caverns in haste and has been known its presence for swallowing the moon, which causes the eclipses.
Are you ready? Fasten your seatbelt and stay at your seat as we enter the spectacular road of outer space. In 3, 2, 1. Are you ready to learn? Let's start learning! Earth, our home planet, is locked in an elliptical path around the Sun, which is known as the orbit. Earth travels around the Sun along an orbit and complete one revolution in approximately 365 days and 6 hours, which is equivalent to 1 year. Just the Earth revolves around the Sun in an elliptical orbit. Our natural satellite, the Moon, also revolves the Earth. It takes about 27.322 days for the moon to complete one revolution. So the Earth revolves around the Sun and the moon revolves around the Earth. With these interrelated motions happening in these three celestial bodies, the Sun, the Moon, and the Earth, do you think there is several phenomena occurs? Very good! And what is this phenomena? Correct! That is eclipse. So what is eclipse? Eclipses are examples of formation of shadows in space. The Earth, the Moon, are non-luminous and opaque, but the Sun is luminous and is the source of light in space. There are two types of eclipse depending on the position of the Sun, the Earth, and the Moon. These are solar eclipse and lunar eclipse. Let us first learn the solar eclipse. Solar eclipse occurs when the moon comes between the sun and the earth, and when all the three are on the same straight line. The shadows of the moon falls on the earth. The shadow created on our earth by the moon at the time of solar eclipse are broken down in three parts. Those are umbra, antumbra, and penumbra. So what do you think is umbra? Very good! Umbra is part of the moon shadows that fully covers the sun. The sun is not visible in this. Umbra is also what we know the total solar eclipse. Next is antumbra. Do you have any idea what is antumbra? Great! Antumbra is the area of the shadow beyond the point of umbra. In antumbra, the moon is fully in front of the sun, but it doesn't cover the total part of the sun. The last one is penumbra. It is the area of the shadow where only a small portion of the moon is in front of the sun. We are done with solar eclipse. Now, let us proceed to another types of eclipse, which is the lunar eclipse. Now, what is lunar eclipse? Lunar eclipse is when the earth is situated between moon and the sun, making the earth block out the sun rays which would be shining on the moon, creating a shadow and darkening it. This phenomenon allows us to see the moon in a reddish color. Lunar eclipses are quite frequent and can be seen at any part of the world at nighttime. The most frequent one that we can be seen is the partial lunar eclipse and the total lunar eclipse. When there is an eclipse and it looks like someone has taken a bite out of the moon, then it is a partial lunar eclipse. And when there is eclipse, one can see a whole moon, then it is a total lunar eclipse. Now, based on the discussion that we had, how are you going to differentiate solar eclipse and lunar eclipse? Very good! Let us have a recap. Remember that solar eclipse is for the sun and lunar eclipse is for the moon. You can also identify the difference between the two in the order of three celestial bodies. During solar eclipse, the order goes to Sun, Moon, and Earth. And during lunar eclipse, the order goes to Sun, Earth, and Moon. It's easy to understand, right? Now you know when solar eclipse and lunar eclipse occurs. We are almost done on our lesson. Good job, grade 7! Here is your final challenge to prove what you have learned. It's quiz time! Our quiz is multiple choice. You have to choose the letter of the correct answer. I'll give you 10 seconds to answer each questions. Are you ready? Let's get started! Question number 1. This occurs when the sun, moon, and the earth are precisely aligned. Letter A, eclipse. B, rotation. C, shadow. Or letter D, tides. And the correct answer is very good. Letter A, eclipse. Here's your star. Number 2. What stars is the source of all heat and light in the solar system? Letter A, comets. B, moon. C, planet. Or letter D, sun. The correct answer is letter D, sun. Very good. Here's your star. Number 3. Which of the following scenario happens when the Earth are directly positioned between the Sun and the Moon? Letter A, lunar eclipse. Letter B, rotation. Letter C, solar eclipse. Or letter D, tides. If your answer is letter A, lunar eclipse, you are correct. Here's your star. Number 4. What happens when the moon moves directly between the sun and the earth? Letter A, lunar eclipse. B, rotation. C, solar eclipse. Or letter D, tides. If your answer is letter C, solar eclipse, very good! You are correct. Here's your star. And the last number, it is the darkest portion of the moon shadow. Letter A, crater. B, night. C, penumbra. Or letter D, umbra. The correct answer is letter D, umbra. Did you get the perfect score? Excellent! Here's your star. We are now done on our lesson about eclipses. Congratulations, grade 7! Always remember that learning becomes easy once we explore. Again, I am your grade 7 super science teacher, Joanna. Till next time, bye!